Outside on Nehalem Bay State Park is they've got various animals here. Get the scoop on the poop. Bird watching. But they also have programs, lots of programs for kids. Pause that and watch that if you want. So, and they've got this really great walking trail. I think it's a 1.5 miles around. Sarah the Wonder Dog and I are going to walk it and we'll time it. But here's some programs that they have. Here's a little area that younger kids, and I think up through teenagers, shoot, I'm sure even adults could come here. This kind of amphitheater, and they have programs and you can learn about whatever. So here's the access to that trail. There's extra parking over there and the recycling center. You can bike here and your kids can learn some stuff, and you can kick back and have an adult beverage in the back area while your kids learn some stuff about some stuff. Then you can walk around and see some trees, try to identify trees and grasses, see the backside of some camping, and here is the trail. Now the other very cool things about this area is that there's an airplane strip here. Here's the trail we're going to walk around, and here are the camping sites. Just a word of advice: if you're going to camp in any of the section, the outside is always the best. And then there's several trails to the ocean as well. People bike on the trail and you can walk it. It is paved part of the way, and it's a bumpy pave, not very smooth. So if you have challenges walking, the front part of it would be fine, but you'll get to an area that is gravel and dirt at one point. So I'll just take you along and we'll point out some interesting things along the way. All right, stay tuned. So if you're like me, when you're going around places, you're always looking for resources, and here's that lichen they call old man's beard, which is great for fire starting. Lots of pine, fir, cedar, and what's that other? The gray, kind of gray tree, spruce around here. So let's keep going and see what we see. There's a wild, well, I'd say it's a wild cherry tree, but probably it was planted here. So anyway, here's a cherry tree on our little walk around, and also you'll see these blackberry-like leaved berries, and these are salmon berries. See the segmented berry that is kind of pink in color, and they will turn a yellowy orange, and they're very edible. Ooh, and here's some black ones. So we've got blackberry mixed up in here as well. Ooh, it's still really sour, but edible if you had to. Just don't eat too much or you'll get bound, diarrhea bound. All right, keep going. We also see here various types of dandelion. You know, we can eat that. And I've seen some wild lettuce, as well as, what do they call that? Opium lettuce or pain-killing lettuce. I'll link that below. It's another herb that you can cultivate, and is supposed to be a very good painkiller, which comes from weeds. All right, keep going. Oh, the weeds that have that milky substance in them. I'll try to find one and show it to you. So we've got a big spruce tree here, and unfortunately we're just beyond the season where the spruce tips were collected and saved to be eaten. I did not know they were edible until this year. So a lot of the pine, fir, spruce family have tips that are edible on them. And I just watched one of the 18th century live history TV shows, Townsend and Company. Jason Townsend and son, but I think John Townsend, who is the son, actually leads that group. Anyway, he made beer from it. Apparently that was something that they did in the 1700s in the armed services when water wasn't so great. They would make beer, and if they couldn't get it rationed to them, they would get molasses shipped to them, and then they could make beer from it with spruce tips. I'll link that video. And another, as usual, because we're in Oregon, there is firewood everywhere in the forests here. And this is a punky wood, quick burning. It's pretty dry, even though it's been wet here the last few days. Onward. Lately I've been noticing these different types of grass and the seeds. I know and understand that wild rice is actually grass seed, which has started me wondering if we can eat grass seed. Can we eat grass seed? Any kind of grass seed? If one could, even though the seeds are tiny, there's a lot of it. So as we saw before on the map, this trail encircles the whole park and the landing area for the airplanes. We're about here to cross an entrance road, but I just wanted to show you how well marked everything is. So we've got a stop sign for us, and there's notifications for the vehicles down both sides of the street that people can cross here, and we're gonna cross over. There's a little garbage can and more poop bags for the dogs, and the bear and cougar warning. And let's hope we don't see a cougar. We won't. If we get attacked, we'll just be dead, but a bear we might see. That'd be cool. You flower folks out there, there's a bunch of foxglove, Digitalis. If you have a heart problem and take Digitalis, that might be a plant you would like to look at and cultivate. And let's see, we're going to take a look at the map. A minute ago, or when we first looked at it, we were right about here, and now we're here. So we're going to go walk along the shore of the bay where people can go crabbing around into the shore down there, and then we'll be right past the airport and starting back around. So let's go. So here we have just a nice overlook of blackberries along with another berry, and I'm not sure if that is a salmon berry or not, but I just wanted to show you the difference between the two plants side by side. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I can hear some people probably in the bay or hiking through the woods. We're coming up on the bay right now. Lots of ferns too. I'm not sure if these are the type of ferns that grow fiddleheads that are edible, or if it's that other more soft type of fern. I'll look that up and I'll link it below. See which fern is which. Oh, and look. The tide is out. So if you were somebody that liked to dig for clams, mussels, even limpets, this is a great place to come and do that. Look at this. And even though the campground is full of people coming out your ears, there is not a soul to be seen. It's supposed to show you people are lazy and they don't want to walk very far. Again, lots and lots of wood here. Big, huge stumps. Huge old growth stumps. And then I don't know if you can see just off in the distance a little bit over there. Let's see if I can give you a close-up. There's a boat launch in the day use area. And people can just come down for the day and utilize that area. They've got horse rental down there. You can dock your boat there. You can crab off that. Very cool. It's part of Nehalem Bay State Park. Oop, check it out. It's either a hawk or an eagle. Looks like, I don't know. We can go maybe see it land. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, another bit of advice for newbies, especially in Oregon. So I'm on sand right now, but can you see how that little wet area, the ground changes a little bit? So that's silt. So that's a mixture of sand and dirt. And in some areas out here, we have something similar to quicksand. It's not quicksand, but it will suck the boots right off your feet, and you can get stuck for a minute or two. You can always pull yourself out, sit down, roll out. Roll out, people. Don't freak out and try to yank your feet out. Just lay down and roll out. But just don't go running out there to the water, because you can get sucked in up to your kneecaps. Trust me, it's not fun. And it stinks. I have it. Alright, so let's see if we see any good debris for survivaling. Obviously, we've got a lot of wood here. Let's see what else we can find. Alright, are any of you guys like me when you see a piece of clothing that's just randomly laying around? Do you also wonder if there's a dead body somewhere near here? So you send your dog in first. Alright, so we got a shirt there. And then we have a lone sock. Very strange. But you always find crap at the shore, don't you? Alright, let's see what else we see from our lovely tied-out view. Another resource, we're just walking by. Kelp and seaweed. Remember Alan from the first year of Alone? He pretty much survived on that and the sea slugs. If you went out further, I'm sure you could get quite a bit more. But now we're starting to see also the little limpets on these rocks. So what we've got two sources of easy food right now. We've got limpets and we've got kelp. And I think you can eat any kind of kelp, although I am not positive of that. Something we need to look up. Those are little tiny guys that look at my thumb. They're not very big. Let's see what else. We were seeing a lot of crab on the ocean side, but this is the bay, so it's going to be a little different here. Ooh, big piece there. Sarah, the wonder dog. Sarah, are you a survival dog? Are you surviving? Barely surviving. She's famished. All right, let's see what else. So here's the backside of the landing strip. Nobody's supposed to trespass in this area for obvious reasons. There's a herd of elk that live out here too, and Sarah and I have found some sheds from them before, so we're going to go hunting around where we don't belong in a few minutes. But I don't want to tape that. But here's the bay, so what a great place to land your airplane, huh? Come on in and land. I don't see an air sock or anything, and there's nobody here to call about the weather or landing conditions, so I guess you're on your own there, Johnny. Beautiful day. It's about 65 degrees, although it's cloudy and windy. Alright, let's keep going. Wanted to point out too that right when we came around the corner, sorry for that quick spin, the road or the path here changed to gravel. Still fairly smooth. If you were in a 4x wheelchair, had some experience, knew what you were doing, I don't think this would be much of a problem. And we've also passed a couple benches where you can sit and see the view. And Sarah and I are going to go down and check out those logs and see if there's any fun stuff on them. Here's a dead Dungeness crab. We have prolific amounts of Dungeness crab in the waters around, in Oregon. So it's something that we consume a lot of, and you learn from an early age to love it, and I do love it. It's my favorite food. Again, tons of those limpets attached to the log. Do you want to get up there? Go on. Come on. Tara's taking a peek. Let's see what else we see. Now we're running into a small grove of birch now that we're off the bay and back on the path. So we all know why we love birch so much. We love it. It's a good tree. Native Americans in this area, of course, use the birch bark for not only fires but also making canoes. So we're coming up on that other type of fern I was talking about earlier. Is this the type that's a fiddlehead fern? Where you can eat the fiddleheads, or is the other one? Can you eat both of the new growth? This one's a lot softer. It'd be a lot easier to work with. Interesting. Check it out. I'll check it out and link below. And also, does anybody know what the heck this tree is? They're everywhere here, and they've got these little tiny seed pods. So as we're walking through here, I wanted just to point out these piles of brush you see here and there, and nothing over there. And piles of brush in here, and here, and here, and another one up there. So, no, we are not out raking the forests to stop forest fires, like some people seem to think happens in multiple countries. But the Forest Service does have volunteers that come out and clean up, make sure the trails are free, and make little burn piles, slash piles, and they'll take them to an area that's more open for burning. They encourage volunteers to come. You can volunteer for part of a day or weeks or months, which is super cool. And they'll even take people into the backcountry, like off the Pacific Crest Trail, etc., and have them work out there, put them up in tents and feed them and get work for free. So any of you folks know somebody who is interested in that, have them contact the forest department in your state. In Oregon, it's pretty easy to do this. I'm not sure what the age limit is or how young somebody can go, but I could just see this being an interesting social experiment for a quote-unquote, end-quote, troubled child that is doing nothing but back-talking and running away, or doesn't want to mind their parent. Way to reconnect with nature, get some good hard work in, and learn something. Some of you may also be wondering, is this a safe thing to do, a safe place to be? I guess it's as safe as anywhere, right? I'm by myself for the most part. I've got Senorita Ferocious up ahead that would kiss somebody as soon as growl at him. Oh, we've got some birds yelling at us. But I'm not afraid. This is my home state. This is an area where I feel comfortable, which is in the woods. Actually, what makes me less comfortable is the fact that it's a known pathway and a lot of people ride bikes and jog and etc. on it. I'd rather be in the middle of nowhere by myself. But anyway, just a quick nod to that subject. Another slash pile. Oh. Does anybody know what these plants are? Got these little pods. They're all over the place. It's a spit bug spit, so that's not a flower. My Snap It app doesn't work for crap. They're just everywhere. I doubt those pods are edible, but I'm going to look it up. If I see a flower, I'll make sure to show it to you. But if you know what this is, it'd be great. Leaves are very soft, teardrop shape. What do they smell like? Nothing. It smells like nothing. Anyway, let me know. So here is a small yarrow plant. It's before it's flowered. Here are the leaves and stems on it. And here is one that's, Sarah, move, pre-flower. Sarah wants to look at, come on. I'll try to find one that's flowering. Yarrow is used for many things, and I will link something below that you can take a peek at and see the medicinal uses of yarrow. And here it is, kind of this feathery plant. But it includes menstrual pain, GI discomfort, fever. You can chew it, make it into a tea. I'm sure you can make it into a poultice as well. But I'll link something below so you can check it out even further. I hope we find some flowers. That would be very cool. Alright, so our trail is opening up again. Now we're on the back side of the airport landing strip. But we just passed that yarrow patch, and here's more yarrow. Oh great, look at this. So here's one that's getting ready to bloom. That's going to be gorgeous. All over the place. It kind of has a citrusy, piney smell to it. Once you learn it, it's hard to forget it because of the beautiful soft feel to it and the look of it. But it can be confused with a couple other plants like poisonous hemlock and Queen Anne's lace. Of course, Queen Anne's lace is wild carrot and totally edible. Just doesn't have the same medicinal properties, although it does have medicinal properties. All right, so here is the back of the airport landing strip, and you can see there actually is a windsock there. I was wrong. Let's see if we can close up on that. And there's an outhouse and a couple buildings down there. All right, let's keep going and see what else we see. Landing strip. Here's just a long shot of the landing strip. Remember when we went to the bay, we were way down over there. Coming up to the end, stop ahead sign worn out. But I guess makes sense enough. We're going to cross the street up here. We'll be able to see the check-in area up here on the right. And another walker. So we're going to go through the tent area now. So here's the hike and bike in area. And you can camp pretty much anywhere in here. There's water available and power in a central location, not at each site, but you can see there's a community pit and tables and a fire ring. There are showers at this campground, community showers and bathrooms, flush toilets. Sarah, come on. Really pretty area for the walk-ins. Really nice and mossy. Okay, and here's the real final after you've finished the trail back there where that stop sign was. And now we've come through the hike bike camp area, which is in there. And now we're coming to the official end. And what we'll see here on the right is the guard station. When you enter, you check in there. And then ahead of us in the 1 o'clock position is the dump station. You'll see that there's an RV there right now. Big open area for parking if people get here early and their site's not ready. American flag, another poop box and stand, water area, meeting hall you can rent, and then here's the sign that shows where we are here. We actually started here, so we're going to walk down the road to over there. So here we go. Well, here's the entrance road. There's not very much space on this side, but on that side there's quite a bit of space for bicycling. But you can see that there are cars running everywhere through here. We're actually just going to cross over it because the road on the side is just bigger. And then we'll walk back to our site and we'll talk about camping in a campground on the way into the site. That'll be in another video entitled something like, "Are you sure you want to camp in a community park? Is it really what you think it's going to be?" So, thanks everybody. See ya. Bye.